All right, well, thank you and welcome to the Power Generation session. Appreciate y'all coming. We have a good lineup today. I'd like to open up with just some general type of slides. Us in the power generation industry, we are pretty quite aware of what the data opportunity is and what the challenges are. How do you get all this data and make it accessible to turn it into actionable insights? Well, of course, with the PI system, pervasive connectivity across any vendor, any type of data source. Become a system of record for your corporation, for history and real time. Be operations ready. Make decisions in real time. And we are kind of a bridge between that IT-OT integration piece with our integrators that can take your real-time OT data, groom it, and feed it into other applications. Make that data accessible to people in your organization, from the process engineers, production managers, control room technicians, data scientists, maintenance engineers, and all kind of analysts, weather reporting and such. We enable this infrastructure for multiple things: real-time situational awareness. Don't wait till things happen. Be aware as they happen, right? You know it's going to happen, so you can have better response, better plan if something adverse. Also being able to use our ad hoc capabilities, not just static screens, but how do you interact with the visualizations? How do you interact with the event frames? Making this more of a visualization tool as opposed to just something to look at. And of course, being able to use our wide variety of third-party applications from our vendors. I want to talk a little bit about analytics. It's the buzzword of the year, probably for the next several years. There's been a lot of people that really have pushed putting everything in a data lake, and there's some reasons to do some of that. There's also been people creating a lot of data swamps at the same time and not getting the value out of them. So what I'd like to discuss right now is what we're calling an evolutionary approach. It's mostly layered analytics. What's the best place to do a particular type of analytic? Do you need it in real time? Do I want to know right now I got a high vibration on a pump? I get it on my phone, I look at it, I click on the link, and boom, I'm in vision looking at the exact event and data that caused that high vibration. Right? That's a different analytic than I want coming out of other systems. So what we call this is a level one kind of predictive analytics. It happens what I call streaming. These are event frames and calculations that you can do within PI-AF and such. But then you also take this up a level. We call this level 2 predictive. And these layers will be a tactical view of machine learning or AI, advanced pattern recognition, which I'm a huge fan of. And a tactical view of that is going at it equipment at a time, equipment type at a time, or system. A very tactical view with knowledge of how that system works and the kind of things you're really looking to determine the condition and such. A strategic layer of that is now taking that and applying it to multiple assets. Right? You don't have to reinvent the wheel once you've accomplished it on a certain kind of pump or electric motors or wind turbines. And then a community view of that as well. Am I also including data and information around my total supply chain or other information that I might get from market data? Now that could be a big data system, right? To me, the big data system values that I've seen across the country and around the world is the value is when you take some of that OT data, you groom it, you put it into a big data world, and you're combining it with other data within the corporation. Maybe your commercial operations data. Maybe being able to do a backcast analysis to see how did operations really perform against our forward gas positions or forward power sales or forward power purchases. Are we really in line? And kind of creating a circular improvement process to make sure that's in tune. Well, you can do that type of analysis more often now. You can do a wider analysis and a deeper analysis. Also, we see analytics going downward, down to the edge. We're actually part of that if you've looked at our fog lamp and such that we're working with our partners on. I think eventually you're going to buy some kind of big pump or a valve or something like that, and it's going to have maybe analytics, data storage, and everything on it. Kind of like your car has a lot of analytics within it. You still want to pull that up into an infrastructure to aggregate the total performance of a system or a unit or a plant. So this is still evolving, of course. We're helping evolve that. But you really want to try to find what's the best place to put which type of analytics. I wouldn't put all my bets on one kind of horse. In power generation, I particularly see most of the value so far from our customers is in the streaming analytics layer and the tactical and strategic machine learning and APR. That's where we see a lot of big money savings. So basically, you're configuring these smart asset objects within AF. You're using these templates. When you create a new calculation, you can say, yep, I like how this looks. And you can say, now apply that to every piece of equipment that I did with that template, and they all inherit that new calculation or that new event frame. You can also back calculate those as well, right? So if I create an event frame that says, I want to know how many times this pump came on and off, I can test it, see if it's doing what I want it to do, and they say, you know what, go back 2 years and calculate every time it went on and off, right? A very powerful way to do it. Then, of course, you can now apply that across to all your assets, then looking at the whole enterprise, right? It builds up very quickly once you take this strategic approach of templates and taking it from an equipment or a system level view. But I want more than this. We've heard a lot of hype about digital twin, right? I don't want a digital twin. I want a greatly enhanced digital twin, right? I want to convert that data into better data for me. I do want to know every time the pump started and stopped. I want to know how long it ran. I want to get greedy, right? But I also want to bring in other data, future forecasting data, production schedules. I want to measure my deviations of what I'm supposed to be at and where I actually am at. I may want to put in the rules of my PPA and measure that in real time. And I have my KPIs there showing me exactly what it is. I've seen people put that into their AF. So these types of things of bringing in other data more than your operational data to augment that to greater business value. Of course, we also use all these hooks for these machine learning and such into Python, R, MATLAB, all those types of things is a very economical way to attack these same kind of issues where some people may say you need a $6 million type of system to do that. You can do this very strategically and be able to knock out a lot of very high quality work and high value work. I'd like to say that OSIsoft is pretty committed to the power and utility industry. We have my colleagues Kevin Walsh and Bill McEvoy. They're down in the utilities track. Gary Wong covers all of global water. And then we have our industry champions, Jerry Weber and Anderson Emerald from LATAM. And my co-host today is Rafael Maldonado. He is our industry champion for power generation here in EMEA. I would like to thank our partners, our gold and silver and bronze. And of course, you see our vendors out there. The expo is open today until 5:30. Tomorrow we have day 3 tracks on best practices. A marketplace for a partner showcase will be open as well, and they'll have some tech talks. I'd like to make sure that we bring up what we're going to do with our learning system. It's a new site, right? It used to be only on YouTube. Now you can go to this website, learning.osisoft.com, and you'll see kind of the videos and stuff put into a more constructive way for you to learn these things. Now, these things aren't like an 8-hour class video. They're snippets, right? So they're very consumable, and you can learn on your own time. You can learn how to do AF tricks. You can learn how to use vision, all these things, right there in your office. It's a powerful tool. I'd also like to introduce you to Pi Square. If you're not a member, please join. We have a power generation users group. We have over 600 people around the globe on our users group. We also have things accessible like industry kits that we've done. In fact, Raphael has created a solar power kit, and you can download that. It gives you some construct of AF. It gives you some of the calculations, and you'll be able to use that against your own information. Some of those kits that we have for power are, wind farm monitoring, condition-based maintenance. We have some transformer stuff, hydro plant monitoring. It's just kind of a starter kit to help you understand how some of these things are being done. And there's some very good things in there. I think in our wind kit, we have a complete power curve mathematics in there. So you don't have to recreate that yourself, just apply your own data to it. It's all available via Pi Square. So today's agenda, we have a very good lineup. We have EDF Renewables, going to talk about the epic of turbine and downtime tracking. Then we'll have EDP, providing power generation fleet-wide real-time analytics and key support. Uniper will come up right before lunch, and they're going to talk about how their EA has impacted their entire organization. We'll have a lunch break between 12 and 1:45. And then presenting this afternoon will be Ingy on their Robin platform. This is going to be very neat. We're also going to see some how you wear the hard hat with the visual thing across your eye and actually speaking commands to the application. And we'll be able to see that live. StatCraft is going to talk about their condition monitoring and hydroelectric. And then at the end of the day, I have our own Brian Owens will come in and give us talk on cybersecurity and how deep DERs are impacting that security profile. Tonight, you get to go do loops to loops and get dizzy and crazy on roller coasters and such. We will be leaving around 6:20 to head over. It starts at 6:30, so it's just a walk across the street. And if you can, please plan to be at our Pi World in San Francisco next March. It'll be a very good show, and you saw the announcement in 2020 will also be in Amsterdam in October. If you have a question, please just raise your hand. We'll identify you. We'll walk a microphone to you. You can ask the question. If you can, please say your name, the company you're with, and then ask the quick question.